The sole purpose of this video is to provide a basic overview and orientation of your new apparatus. This video is not intended to act as or replace individualized driver-operator training. Individual fire departments may base guidelines, policies, and procedures tailored for best practices. Pierce Manufacturing and Hughes Fire Equipment representatives are not liable for injuries caused from acts resulting from actions inconsistent with the information provided within this video and/or accompanying manuals. Refer to the Operation and Maintenance Manual for complete details relating to the components and features of this apparatus. Only trained personnel should operate this vehicle or perform maintenance. You are responsible for learning how to operate this fire apparatus under all conditions without having to refer to the manual while operating at an emergency incident. This video will discuss types of warnings and caution labels. It is your responsibility to locate and identify each of the labels and understand the importance and associated hazards. Warning labels will point out procedure that must be taken or action that must be avoided to guard against the possibility of serious injury or death. Caution labels will advise you that there is a risk of damage to property if certain precautions are not followed. Continuous training, reviewing of operation and service manuals, developing good standardized practices will assist driver operators with a more complete understanding of the components and operation of this fire apparatus. As the driver operator of this vehicle, you are responsible for understanding the function of each component of the apparatus, maintaining control of the fire apparatus at all times while in operation. Make operational and functional changes while operating at an emergency without having to read operator's instructions or safety warning labels. Operate manual override and emergency shutdown procedures immediately if a component fails to operate properly. Components location may vary with each Pierce fire apparatus. Review the exact location of each component prior to operation. Major inconsistencies between your vehicle and the information contained in this video should be directed to your sales representative. Safe operation of any vehicle is the responsibility of the driver operator. You must learn the location and function of all controls, switches, gauges, valves, inlets, and discharges. Due to a higher center of gravity, heavy trucks have a significantly higher rollover tendency than other types of vehicles. To reduce the risk of rollover, avoid making sharp turns, excessive speed, and avoid abrupt maneuvers. In the event of a rollover crash, an unbelted person is significantly more likely to become injured or die than a person wearing a seatbelt. In the event of a crash, unbuckled occupants can also become a hazard to other occupants, as they may be thrown around inside the cab. Seatbelts are required while in operation. Please refer to your warranty certificates for details and information enclosed in your manuals. Customer-installed equipment must be mounted to withstand road travel and comply with NFPA 1901. Modifications such as drilling holes or welding to structural frame components of the chassis are not permitted. Contact Pierce for instruction and review of non-structural sheet metal or other dissimilar metals for modification. Follow the radio installation guide for further assistance on installing or mounting electronics. Before placing your new apparatus into service, perform a primary inspection of key components of the apparatus, including all fluid levels, anti-lock braking systems, electronic stability control, and automatic traction control. Weigh your apparatus to ensure that it conforms to axle and brake ratings. Never exceed the gross axle rating printed on the label inside the cab. Exceeding these ratings could lead to reduced component life, personal injury, or death. Review the use of auxiliary braking systems, compression brake, exhaust brake, electronic retarder, and hydraulic retarder. Before placing the apparatus in service, refer to the operational maintenance manuals. Information on the operation and maintenance functions for the components such as the pump, pressure governor, and foam systems, along with other options, is provided in either the Pierce manuals and/or other manufacturer support information delivered with the apparatus. If you need more information, please contact Hughes Fire Equipment. Congratulations, Seattle, Washington, on your new Pierce Tillard Aerial, job number 39136. Please utilize this 5-digit job number when referencing your apparatus with Hughes Fire Equipment and Pierce Manufacturing. We'll get started on a brief orientation. Starting first at the front bumper, you'll find your mechanical siren located in the siren notch. There are 2 protruding tow hooks. These are 6,000-pound direct pull. You'll also find your electronic siren and PA speaker. On the driver's side, you'll find dual air horns. As we move up onto the cab, you'll find out on the outer edge a marker turn indicator light. Just inside that location is the headlight structure housing low and high beam headlights. Just up from this location, your emergency warning light cluster. 4 emergency warning lights forward facing. Moving further up onto the cab area, you'll find 2 grab handles on the driver and passenger side, along with 3 windshield wipers across the seamless one-piece windshield. As we move to the outer edge of the cab, at the A-pillar, it's where you'll find your mirror housing a flat and convex mirror. There is also a downward-facing convex mirror over the officer's area. As we move to the brow of the apparatus, you'll find 5 identification clearance lights. The 3 internal lights for those are located with inside the brow light located in the very front, which is your front scene light. Moving up onto the roof of the apparatus, you'll find your emergency warning light bar, and located with inside the light bar is your opticom. Let's move around to the side of the vehicle, full view, driver's side, and we'll focus in on the cab section next. Starting first near the front bumper, where you'll find a side-facing emergency warning light. As we move up from this location, you'll find a side-facing camera, and then easily accessible with a gloved hand. These are your door lock latches, and they are also keyed. Right next to those, you'll find your grab handle for gaining entry in and out of the cab while maintaining 3 points of contact. You also have a combination door lock access, along with an auto-eject shoreline inlet. As we move just to the right of that location, you'll find an emergency warning light. And then moving up to the rear portion of the cab, this is where you'll find a side-facing scene light. Let's take a look at the rear portion of the Tillard area. We'll come back to this in great detail. We'll move around now to the rear of the apparatus. Starting first down in the corner with a marker indicator. This is on a rubber arm. And then also your stop, reverse, turn, and emergency warning light cluster. As we move to the right, you'll find 2 tow hooks protruding through the rear. These are 6,000 pounds direct pull. Also, D-handle gains you access behind the pan door here, along with an emergency warning light located on the very top section of the ladder storage area. Emergency warning lights located in the rear portion of the tiller person's position, along with a backup camera. And then up at the very top, just underneath the glass, is where you'll find your traffic advisor. All the way up to the very top section on the rear wall is a rear-facing scene light. From this position, let's move around to the passenger side of the vehicle, full view, and then we'll take a look at the body section. And then now we'll move into the cab section next. Same configuration, side-facing bullet camera. Let's go ahead and move now over to the driver's space. We'll start first with the door panel information. Affixed to the door panel, safety and warning placard information. Some additional notes are located also here, along with tally light information from inside the dash area. Also, you'll find door lock and latch combination. This is your door lock and then also latch. Moving up from that location, electric window control for all 4 cab windows and a grab handle. As we move into the space at the base of the pedestal, you'll find an air inlet with a regulator valve. And then as we move just inside that location, the yellow placard, let's cover that real quick. This is the manufactured by Pierce for your department. This has the 5-digit job number, gross vehicle weight rating, cold tire inflation, date of manufacture, and also the VIN number, along with all of the fluid capacities for each component, fluid capacity, and also the fluid type. Some additional warning and caution placards located within this area also. As we move to the floor, you'll find your air horn foot pedal and mechanical siren foot pedal. About the left knee of the operator, you'll find your master battery switch. It's a quarter turn. It's the silver switch at the top. Also your tech module, engine, transmission, ABS diagnostic port. ABS diagnostic, DPF Regen, engine diagnostic, and Regen inhibit placard, along with your shift interlock. Also, you'll find these red and white candy cane labels throughout the vehicle. This is indicating spare wiring is behind the panel. Please do not remove until your maintenance team has had an opportunity to take a look at those. You'll also find an air pressure gauge. Moving up from that location, aerial master, stabilizer camera, Tillerman not seated, diff lock, generator PTO, and load manager. To the rear of the Allison transmission pad, you'll find your warning buzzer for 1 stop, 2 go, and 3 back up. As you move to the left-hand side of the dash, you'll find your windshield wiper control, push for fluid, and then also a start ignition switch on the lower left. Also switch labeled EM, which stands for Emergency Master. This will engage or disengage all emergency lights, along with your headlight switch, panel switch, allowing you to brighten or dim lights within preview of the operator. To the right, OK to engage your high idle indicator and switch. As we look at the dash cluster, you'll find at the top and bottom tally light information, along with a digital readout in the very center below the speedometer tachometer. There's also a jackknife warning indicator light located in the upper right corner. As we move just to the right, you'll find a keypad located on the dash area. This is a lockout ignition. The number is currently blurred out for safety reasons. As we move just up to the front, you'll find your command zone. It's a touchscreen and also function button. Just below that, some switches. Located here, you'll find the engine brake on and off, settings for low, medium, and high, interaxle lock, which is a protected switch, and then also indicator prove out, front wheel lock, and mirror heat. As we move down to the Allison transmission pad, push button and digital readout. Just to the left, you'll find the yellow diamond, which is your pull to apply your system parking brake, and push to release. These are the rear spring brakes. Moving now to the right, you'll find climate control for heat, air conditioning, and defrost. Just to the right of that location, you'll find your siren module, NPA speaker system, 12-volt access via barrel style, and USB-A. Moving to the very top section, you'll find barrel style at the very front section of the driver's position, located here. As we look overhead of the driver's seat, you'll find push on and off red or white lens lights, along with a yellow placard indicating the height of the vehicle, 11 feet 6.5 inches, length 60 feet 5.25 inches, and the gross vehicle weight rating 93,600 pounds. This also has the 5-digit job number 39136-01. To the right of that, emergency warning lights. We have an emergency master, alternating white flash, Opticom, front white warning, siren brake, and momentary Opticom. Moving further to the right, additional switch panel, scene lights. We're going to have driver's flood, front flood, passenger side flood, rear scene light, perimeter lights. When any of these switches have been activated, the green light will illuminate, indicating the action has been activated. To the right, you'll find generator operating instructions. And then as we move toward the center, you'll find an inclinometer. This is from left to right. And then also a do not move your apparatus if the light is on. It's indicating you may have a compartment ajar. As we move to the rear seat, you'll find 2 forward-facing seats and also 2 rear-facing seats. Behind the seat, you'll also find a inverter, and then also when plugged into Shoreline power, this outlet is active. There's also the manual handle located here for the cab tilt. Let's go back to the exterior of the vehicle where you'll find shoreline power, auto eject, 20 amp. As we move down to the front axle, you'll find Alcoa aluminum wheels and Bridgestone tires. Moving now to the rear cab section. Let's go ahead and take a look inside this space. First, let's start with the door panel. Affix the door panel, safety and warning placard information, door lock and latch, window control, grab handle, and then also a grab bar at the top section. Push on and off white or red lens lights, and then your air conditioning unit. As we move into the rear portion, you'll find 4 seats, 2 rear facing and 2 forward facing. The 2 rear facing are SCBA bracketed, the other 2 are non. As we look to the seats here, this is directly behind the driver's seat. You can see the SCBA bracket, and then also to the rear, there are no SCBA brackets in this space. As we look to the base of the pedestal, you'll find 2 lift and turn latch gain access into the lower section compartment. Let's move back to the center area where you'll find a access panel. This is for your daily checks for oil and transmission. And then we'll move back to the exterior. The rear portion of the cab, we do have an additional compartment in the lower section. As we're now to the rear portion of the cab, we have an additional through compartment, pike pole storage, and also pull-out trays, and an SCBA pack. This is also the location at the very bottom section where you'll find the fill location for your ultra low sulfur diesel. In this compartment also you'll find the cab lift, or instructions for its operation, some warning and danger placard, along with 110 power, and also your Acron ladder control function remote. As we move to the very bottom, once again, diesel fuel location. Into the upper corner, light box. As we move just outside the compartment, you'll find a warning here indicating that when climbing on or off the vehicle, always face the vehicle. Just a reminder, this is ultra low sulfur diesel fuel, silver cap. Just on this location on the running board, you'll find your air tank drains. This is also the location for your DEF fill location. It is the blue cap located just in front of the rear axles. You also find this is a 10 US gallon tank. As we move to the turntable itself, you'll find a warning here regarding direct pull on the anchor points here. Also some warning here regarding tip over hazard and short jacking of the vehicle. And also a danger indicating crush injury hazard because of the movement of the aerial device. Also, only trained personnel should operate this piece of equipment. That's only after proper training. You'll also find a caution label here indicating that the driver's side latch must be in position. As we move now to the rear portion, you'll find inclinometers left to right and front to back. This is a tandem rear axle. You'll also find in the upper left-hand corner, this is your generator start-stop switch. There's also instructions for the generator's operation. As we move up into the forward or top section, you'll also find this is your stabilizer control and also emergency stop and also emergency hydraulic overrides. Passenger side stabilizer and also driver's side stabilizer control. As we move down, a warning placard indicating tip over hazard because of that possibility of short jacking. You'll also find in the next compartment over all of our override valve controls. They are color coded, and I would like to point out we do have some danger here because of the high pressure hydraulic oil. Also an additional informational placard here regarding tip over hazard warning. Here's a close-up of the stabilizers for the passenger and driver side. Additional information here, just a close-up of the aerial stabilizer hazard. and then also a close-up here of all your overrides. Let's continue to work toward the rear of the apparatus. We'll find first generated power. We do have a light here indicating that the generator is running. That light will illuminate indicating generator power. You'll also find an inclinometer. This is from left to right. And then also you'll find a stabilizer camera. This is directly pointing at your stabilizer. So you can view that inside the cab prior to setup. As we move around to the side of the apparatus, we'll start now into some of those compartments. Starting first with your stabilizer, crush injury hazard, and then also danger. The ladder is not insulated and we have an electrocution hazard. Let's start into the compartments now. Your first compartment is a through compartment. You have some pull-out trays. There are 3 in the upper section and then 1 floor-mounted tray. As we move to the next compartment, this is also a through compartment. Additional, we have some upper pull-out trays and some floor-mounted trays. Into the next compartment, we have an adjustable shelf and pull-out tray. As we move into the next compartment back, you'll find an adjustable tray in the upper section and then also a pull-out tray in the lower section. In the very top section, just under the ladder area near the boom support, you'll also find an additional storage area diamond plate. Just in the over wheel compartment now, you'll find an additional compartment storage. In the upper portion of this compartment, you'll find 12-volt DC power located here on these 2 negative and positive blocks. We're back to the rear axle where you'll find Bridgestone and Alcoa wheels. Into the step wheel area, just before that, you'll find an SCBA bottle storage location for 1 bottle, in addition with generated power outlet. We do have a lift and turn latch located here. This is gaining you access into the space for filling your ultra low sulfur diesel for your generator heat. Also, as we move into the very rear compartment, adjustable shelf. As we move around to the rear of the apparatus with the ladder storage location, we'll identify a few items within this space. Let's start just underneath this section where you'll find a warning placard indicating direct pull on the anchor. And then just under the ladder storage location, you have an additional storage. D-handle gains you access into this space. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the ladders that we have in the back. First, let's start with a 45-foot 3 section and a 35 2 section, along with a 35 2 section, 24 2 section, and a 24 2 section. In the upper section, we have an 18 roof, 16 roof, 14 roof. As we move around to the side, you'll find a roll-up compartment in this space, dry deck material, LED lighting. SCBA bottle storage for a single bottle with retaining strap, and then also an exterior plug with generator run indicator. Alcoa wheel, Bridgestone tires. We're into the next compartment, adjustable shelves in the upper section, and then also in the very top section we have an additional storage area in the very top, accessible both from passenger and driver side. Moving now forward to this location, we have SCBA bottle storage and also a pull-out tray in the lower section. As we move into the next forward compartment, you'll find a pull-out and tilt downward, a pull-out tray, and then also in the very bottom section, a floor-mounted tray. We're into the through compartment now. Once again, 3 in the upper section that are pull-out trays, and in the lower section we have a pull-out floor-mounted tray. Let's move back to the very forward section of the aerial mount. This is where you'll find your electrical cord reel. This is a junction box here. There's also an electric cord rewind push button, along with the side-facing stabilizer camera, and then also a warning placard on the stabilizer Because of the movement of that stabilizer, we do have warning here regarding crush injury hazard. You'll also find some access panels here. Trigger latches gain you access into this for your modules, and then also into the emergency power and passenger side stabilizer controls. Close-up of the stabilizer controls and also generator start and stop. Instructions here for generator operations, and then also aerial stability regarding short jacking of your apparatus. Front to back, side to side inclinometers. As we now move to the forward section, you'll find an attachment point here. Direct pull is the information here regarding the warning. Also regarding warning tip over hazard. Warning, only trained personnel should operate this piece of equipment, and that's only after proper training. And then danger, crush injury hazard because of the movement of the aerial device. Stabilizer information here also in the upper section. We also have an additional warning placard here regarding the anchor point. You're now looking at the rear portion of the tractor area, tandem axle, Michelin tires. Extremely hot diesel exhaust temperatures do exist, especially during Regen operation. Please be cautious where you park your vehicle during Regen operations. We're into the rear portion of the cab area. This is a through compartment, same configuration as you have on the driver's side as you have on the passenger side. There are two pull-out trays in the upper and lower section. Let's go ahead and move into the rear portion of the cab area. We have an additional compartment here. D-handle gains us access into this space. Let's move into the cab area at the rear. Affixed to the door panel, safety and warning placard information. Electric window, door lock and latch control, and a grab handle. As we move inside, we've seen the other side of the apparatus. It's the same configuration and layout. Two rear-facing SCBA bottled seats with air packs, and then also two forward-facing non-SCBA packed seats. On the outer edge of the seat area, you'll find light boxes with chargers. And then your heaters are just underneath the rear-facing seats. There is one in the passenger and driver side. We're now to the exterior where we find a shoreline inlet and then also your keyless entry action pad. We're moving now into the officer space where you'll find affixed to the door panel safety and warning placard information, door lock and latch, electric window control, and grab handle. As we look inside the cab here overhead, you'll find push on and off white or red lens lights and then also a reading lamp. As we move to the lower section of the A-pillar, this will be the location of the fill area for your windshield wiper fluid. Moving just past the light area here for your portable light, you'll find barrel style 12-volt access. Moving to the left, you'll find an air horn push button. I do not have information as to the protected red switch. Moving overhead, you'll find a switch panel here. The rocker switches starting from right to left, siren brake, perimeter lights, rear scene, passenger side flood, front flood, and driver's flood. Let's move from this location where you'll find your remote system for the module of your FireCom headset system. Volume control and also squelch control. Just to the left of that, you'll find the AM/FM weather band radio and some additional switch panels. We have a mechanical siren, spare 1 and 2, and then just underneath this is where you'll find the FireCom wireless base station module. All compartments open. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the items within the aerial device. Let's first start at the aerial tiller person's position. As we move inside this space, we'll identify a few items. First, let's start with windshield wiper fluid located here in the canister. As we move forward into the driver's space, just a quick look overhead, and then we'll start down in the lower left-hand side, driver's side, where you'll find your side-facing camera. There's one on the passenger along with the driver's side. You'll find your fan control here for low, medium, and high. You'll also find climate control module located here, your FireCom system located near the front section of the window, and then also a warning here advising you to wear your seatbelt while in this space. And then just below that, you'll find the wire, which is for locking out the tiller position's steering wheel. As we move to the steering wheel, you can see the warning buzzer information on the center of the steering wheel itself. Moving just to the right of that location, we have a fan and then also side-facing camera. In the upper left-hand side, this is your heater control module. You'll also find cornering lights, rear scene lights, tiller scene lights, and perimeter lights. In the very center, you'll find your left-right indicator for wheel position. You'll also find your windshield wiper, jackknife warning, ABS trailer, driver's side door open, passenger side door open, and then also indicator lights left and right for turn signals. We're looking directly down the aerial device. Let's start here on the driver's side with your intercom system. It is passive and there is volume control. Also your Acron electric ladder pipe control module, stream, right, left, up, down control module, scabbard on the left side and right side for your chainsaw, and then 2 fold down steps. You'll also find on the fly section a location for storing a long-handled tool. As we move, you'll find indicators as to ladder extension, also ground ladders located on the left and right side. As we move to the lower section, your hose storage area for your water pipe. And now we're at the pedestal area. As we look to the pedestal itself, we'll start at the very front section of the pedestal with your intercom system, volume control, and push to talk, along with an inclinometer. Command zone located here in the front, touchscreen, and also function button. You also have your emergency stop, generator start, and then also tracking lights. At the very top, emergency hydraulic power and overrides. Ladder controls and nozzle controls were in the same space. As we move to the cover of the pedestal area, you'll find additional warning and danger placard information. Let's move to the pedestal cover. In the pedestal cover, you're going to find placards located here indicating the ascendant information for 107 water weight dry, and then also water weight charged. These are your load charts. Also monitor nozzle positions, and at the very bottom section you have asterisk information regarding freezing temperatures. You'll also find the NFPA informational placard located on the far right hand side. Additional storage box up here in the very front section for hose. As we look to the front section, just to the rear of this box, this is where you're going to find your fill locations and check for hydraulic oil and also power steering. Just inside the storage location here in the front. And as we move to the cab, this is a non-walking surface. That's why we have a warning placard here. Let's take a look at the aerial device stabilizers are currently deployed. And then we'll go ahead and take a look at the top section where the aerial device normally would be bedded. This is your hydraulic generator located in the top section. The yellow diamond is the area of the walking surface. It is illuminated. And then also as we move forward, an additional storage box located in the very front section. Looking now at the tiller person's position. Ladder cradle. The next set of images are going to be that of the chassis. There will be no additional audio from this point on. This will conclude the additional chassis photos and graphics photos. Congratulations, Seattle City, Washington, on your new Pierce fire apparatus, job number 39136. If you have any questions, please contact your Hughes Fire sales representative. Thank you and congratulations.